All right, we're here with my Kano deck tech. Brought us to the calling in at Nationals this year. Finished a pretty good score. This is one of my favorite heroes of all time. Something that is always going to be that underdog of a format that you should always respect. Because if you don't respect it and it comes out of nowhere, that one Kano player is going to have an easy round against you, and that's where you're going to take that loss early. Obviously, we got the normal Crucible Aetherine. Pretty much every single matchup you're going to play this, besides one. Great, +1 on all your things. Amazing. Here's got your normal loadout. You got the Storm Striders, the Node, the Tunic, and the Ragamuffins hat. Some people like to use Lens. I think Hat is going to be the more popular choice. Hat and Lens allows you to have different combos. Hat is more common with the Aether Wildfire combo, but Lens is actually very good in a lot of utility matchups. Would expect Lens to come back in the future if there's more combos that are printed. The only thing that's going to be different is when you're playing against Icelander, you're going to play Constellos and Waning Moon. Something really big in that matchup is going to be you need to be able to pick your moments. Icelander wants to arsenal a card at the end of your turn. You need to play on your turn and then play on your opponent's turn without taking much damage as well. How you do that is when you come into the matchup, do that on your turn, then you Waning Moon, so you have a 3 spell, maybe 2 3 spells, and then you're Waning Moon for 2 on your turn, so you're going pretty wide. They're either going to strip a lot of cards from your opponent's hand or they're going to take a bunch of damage. If they decide to pitch a 3 to come in with Aether Ice Vein or one of the new 3-for-7s, 3-for-8s that they have in their deck, that's cool. They have 1 card in their hand or 0 cards in their hand. That's when you have to maximize your damage using Kano, really blast them on the back end and block minimal damage. You really need to trade in that matchup. Moon is really good doing that, having a 2 on your turn and a 3 on your opponent's turn. Using Constellos to block their AB while getting damage in. Perfect for Kano. Setting them up for the Aether Wildfire combo. Just stripping cards from their hand. Always very good. That's going to be our equipment for here. Very light on equipment. Kano does not play a lot of equipment.
You're not playing Kraken. No.
Alright, we're going to look at the main of this deck here. Obviously, Aether Wildfire. Pretty much the strongest wizard cards that we've gotten printed in the last year as well. Got the 3 Lesson of Lava and the Blazing Aether. Obviously, there's the 2 combos with Aether Wildfire. It's having Wildfire and Arsenal, obviously, to start it off. Either drawing the Blazing Aether and 3 blues to try to hit that hit anything off the top. Or if you draw Lesson of Lava, you can use that hat to put Lesson of Lava on top. Be able to get the Blazing Aether on top, pitch it for the Blazing Aether as well. These work together perfectly nicely as well. Something that really complements this combo style of a Kano deck is being able to play these tomes. Have 6 tomes in this deck, 3 of the red ones, 3 of the yellow ones. Yellow tome and red tome, mainstay in Kano. I don't think I could ever build a deck in Kano that aren't playing these six cards. Allows you to do so much. Drawing 2 on your turn, drawing 2 in your opponent's turn, having a 1-card hand, gaining life, arsenaling this, just everything you wanted to do in this deck. Something else besides that combo line is just some of those like more chip spells that are generically just going to be very good in your deck. Aether Spindle, often very good in this deck. Ability to set up combos that aren't naturally there, trying to find more of your combo pieces to, either play on that turn or wait for later. Then we got the 3 Sonic Booms as well. Sonic Boom is going to be one of the premier 2 costs. Something I really like playing Sonic Boom in is a lot more of those 1-cost spells. If your opponent has AB3, the AB3 after you use Crucible, they get hit for 1. Maybe you hit that extra 1 cost off the top. Just an amount of damage that you're presenting on 1 turn off a 2-card hand is going to be so much more than they expect, especially because Arcane is very hard to block and taxes your resource system. That's going to be those mainstay cards. And we're going to look at our blues. We're going to play a lot of blues in this deck, obviously in Kano. We're going to start with the best one of them all, Eye of Ophidia. Eye of Ophidia, by far the best blue in the deck. Obviously, this mat looks really cool. What you can do with Eye of Ophidia, it's the only card where if you pitch to Kano, it's the only whiff in your deck besides there. But it is so powerful that having 1 whiff in your deck is perfectly fine because every single time you pitch it, you're opting 2. Activating Crucible, opting 2. Then you can pitch to Kano, setting up the top of your deck, or pitch to Kano and really procure their slot, hit a whole bunch of cards. Very good. Lets you set up a lot of fun combos with that as well. Then we got the three E-Pots. 3 E-Pots are main. This is the only pots that we're running in my Kano list, allowing you to set up for later. One of the greatest things to hit on turn 0 of the game. A lot of times your opponent will attack you if you go second, You can block with 3 cards, and then when they want to arsenal, you just use your last blue in your hand to call it the E-pot check. Try to see if there's E-pot on top, try to see if there's a 0-mana tome on the top, and go to your next turn. Then we got the only 2-cost blues that I have in my deck is going to be Emeritus Scolding. I want all of my blues to be 0s or 1s in my deck. This is the only exception because it does do 4 damage on if you're playing on your opponent's turn, which you need to a lot of these times. Usually comes in for 3 for 5 as well with the Aether Ream. Very good in a lot of matchups. Really underrated blue that I see. Then we're looking through, we got all of our 1 costs. We got Scalding Rain, I got Singes, Snapbacks, 2 Foreboding Bolts, 3 Aether Flares as well. Something that these are going to do for us, this one's going to opt, but mainstay, they're all going to do 1 damage at 1 cost. Singes is going to be a little good for your Dromai matchup. That one I'll talk about later in our sideboard. But then Scalding Rain obviously is the best one. It's 1 for 2 as well. Same thing with Lesson Lava, having Lesson Lava in your hand with Aether Wildfire, 1 for 3. These are just going to be a little bit less damage, but you're going to be more consistency in your deck. Something that's also really, really nice, as you can see, the Scalding Rain is a 1 for 2. Something that you can do is these 0 costs that just got some of these got printed. The Aether Dart, 0 for 1, as well as the Zaps. Both are 0 for 1s, allows you to play Crucible on your Aether Wildfire more consistently because they don't cost as much resources. Allows you to get +3 on your chain because of Aether Wildfire. Very, very good. Jamming all 6 in every single Kano list in the future. Our last blues in this deck is going to be Gaze the Ages. The amount of times I've tried to combo and just not having the right pieces and then hitting Gaze off the top literally makes everything in the deck just go so well. This is in that Sharon's card. Every single time I hit it off the top with Kano, my chances of killing an opponent just go up so significantly every single time. Great setup, bounces to your hand after you play another wizard spell. You can play it in response to another spell before something does damage, like Blazing Aether. Set up the damage, really, really great. That's going to be our blues in this deck. We'll move on to our sideboard pieces. When I'm looking at Kano, we got a lot of sideboard pieces. I have 51 card main board, so that allows us to bring in 9 per matchup. Maybe sometimes more when I know they're going to try to fatigue me and AB4, AB5 me if even. So for that, especially when I'm trying to play on my opponent's turn, playing Emeritus Scolding Reds, 2 for 6, 2 for 7, 3 for 7 off the top on your opponent's turn. Just significant amount of AB damage, just going to chip them, put them in Aether Wildfire range. Very, very important. As well as these Cinderings, playing it for free and an instant on your opponent's turn, setting at the top with Op 3, being able to do extra damage, always very well. I have a tendency to actually hit this off the top a lot more, which I don't want to see, but still sets at the top after. Very good card. Then we go to more of our tech cards. We got 3 Dampens here. Those Dampens are specifically just for Dromai. You need to be able to hit their Ash Wings, you need to be able to hit their Dragons. Dampen is one of the only cards that say any target. A lot of the wizard cards say just to your opponent's hero, so it's really hard to hit their dragons, especially when they develop them. That matchup's a pure race. If you can slow them down and slow the damage that you're going to be taking with Dampen, very, very good. I also like bringing Dampen in versus Icelander because they try to do 3 for 5 against you. You respond off the top, hit Dampen, boom, I'm coming at 5 arcane damage. If you don't AB it, I'm just going to soak your entire spell coming at me. Very, very good. Then we also, for Draw My Matchup, I have 3 rewinds in this. You can also put it against the mirror if you ever see it. Negating the target attack, just bouncing it back to their hand, but they've already used the resources. Really, really good. A lot of the times when I play against Dromai, they're tapping out to play this 2 cost or this 3 cost dragon. Hit them with the rewind. Now they can't play their Tumultai. They can't play all the dragons that you don't want to see. Very, very good as well. It values you that extra 1 to 2 turns of just damage. We got the more generic ones. We got 3 Voltic Bolts here. Just another one to chip them as well. It goes into a lot of matchups. I also run another 3 blue ones because I have run 30 blues main board. And I want to go to 33 in most matchups. So I'm bringing the Voltic Bolt blue in a lot of matchups here. Just consistency. When I'm playing against those aggro decks, I just want to hit Aether Wildfire combo as fast as I can. And the blues allow me to always be perfect on that turn the most amount of times. A little spice here, we got 3 Aether Flares. Aether Flare I really like against aggro and Dromai, especially because they don't have the high enough density of AB or enough blue pitches to really stop max amount of your damage. So if they're ABing for Aether Flare or they just have AB0, AB1, you're just going to maximize 3 to 6 to 9 damage off one card. Very, very good, amplifying the next spell. Aether Flare Red, I think is really underappreciated right now. I think a one-cost Kano deck can come back, and this is going to be the forefront of it. We got 2 Chain Lightnings. Chain Lightning, one of my favorite spells in this deck, allowing you just to play off the top, play from your hand after hitting it off the top, being able to boots it out, doing multiple things with Chain Lightning, very good. A lot of time I've played Blazing Aether from my hand after double spelling off the top, hitting Chain Lightning as my second one, playing the Blaze from my hand, just doing an enormous amount of damage that your opponent doesn't expect. Chain Lightning does pretty much everything you want it to. Also does damage itself if it's the second wizard spell. Makes your third wizard spell off the top or from your hand have instant. Very, very good card all around.
Yeah, I just want to say the triple blue with Blazing Aether going, hitting Red Emeritus, Chain Lightning, and then just pitching and going, here's 6, here's 9, and then here's another free 9 from the Chain Lightning is just 18 damage that they did not expect, and that most of the time leaves you a card to arsenal, and a lot of times when you've gone ahead 18 damage, you just soak up whatever they did because now you're in a position to win.
The amount of damage that you deal with this deck is insane.
Also like pitching 9 cards to my pitch zone in one turn. So
a classic. Yep. A classic of Kano.
Classic of Kano. All right, thanks guys.